This is Burn This Book, a podcast where we, Nicole and Eden, read a banned or challenged book twice a month and discuss its meaning, impact, and censorship to make it more accessible for all readers. This week's book is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, which was published in 2003.
Wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. This was my second time reading it.
Yeah, this was, I don't know, actually. It might have been my third or my fourth. But I'm just a gal who keeps coming back to this book.
Uh-huh. It's a hard book to come back to.
It's an awfully hard book. I think the reason why I keep coming back to it is because of programs like this little podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I read it in high school after I'd read it privately. I read it again in school, and then I read it again after I read A Thousand Splendid Suns by the same author to do a little compare contrast for my own self.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and also reading Khaled Hosseini's writing is very beautiful and very easy. I love how he writes. So
it is gorgeous.
I could read anything he writes, but everything he writes is oof.
Yeah.
Oof. It's heavy. It's hard to read, but easy to read, if you know what I mean.
Easy but hard. Yeah, so let's talk about The Kite Runner. Obviously, there will be spoiler alerts. This book is about... Okay. The Kite Runner is a story about Amir and Hassan. And this book is divided into 3 parts. First part is about their childhood. Amir and Hassan are best friends, grow up together, are like brothers, but the only thing dividing them in society are their ethnic groups. And Hassan is a Hazara, which is the second class in Afghanistan. And this takes place in Afghanistan during the rise of the Taliban. And part 1, their childhood together. Hassan is sexually assaulted. Amir says nothing and eventually mistreats Hassan to the point where Hassan and his father leave. Part 2 is Amir and his dad, who he calls Baba, their escape to Pakistan and eventually to the United States. This is in 1979 when the Soviet Union intervenes in Afghanistan. And then Amir grows up, gets married, but then they actually cannot have children. His dad dies during this part. And then part 3, he gets a note from an older, like a previous servant of theirs, who says that he has his dying wish and he wants Amir to come. And that's when he learns that Hassan has been murdered and that Hassan has a son. So part 3 is about Amir atoning for his lack of action in part 1 and hopefully saving Hassan's son from a similar fate that Hassan had faced living in Afghanistan. So there we go.
Great summary. I think it's notable that it was published in 2003, 2 years after 9/11.
Yes.
Especially when their Islamophobia was definitely rampant in our country. And I think this book, it brought in so much humanity into the characters, showing that the Taliban is not all of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That governing body has harmed and continues to harm the people of Afghanistan who are innocent. And I think it's such a beautiful story of like friendship, class, that we don't know the story totally, like it's nothing's as it seems, and also redemption, atonement, as you said. And how things somehow work out even in such an ugly, horrific world.
Mhm.
Uh, it's hard to read because of the assaults, and there's some child trafficking
Mhm.
by the Taliban, and also, because in the first half of the book, I feel like we get to know the characters really well as children. The second half, we meet them as adults, and one has become a leader in the Taliban, and he's the one trafficking a lot of these, children,
Yeah.
and he's horrible. We meet Amir, who is dealing with the fact that he was raised very wealthy and was a coward
Mhm.
and did not stand up for his friend Hassan. And then we find out about Hassan. And I just feel like we like grow up with them kind of, and it's really hard. It's a hard book. And but I think it's the best education of like people are people.
Y
Humanity is real. And in the midst of American Islamophobia, which we're really circling back to as a country, it is, we have circled back to it. I don't know if we've ever left it, to be
I
quite
don't think
honest,
it's
but
left. No.
no. But we're like more proud of it. Our
Uh-huh.
leadership is.
We flaunt it more.
Yeah, yeah. There's no cosplay of shame about it. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's specific images in this book that I loved. Can I tell you a little bit about them?
Yeah.
So first off, I when I first had read it, I didn't know anything about Afghanistan at all,
Mhm.
except for what we saw on TV and on
Wait,
the War on Terror.
really quick, I do want to caveat that neither Amir nor Hassan were the child traffickers. It was a third
Yeah, it was a
boy
third party.
that they grew up with, the one who had assaulted Hassan, who then
Yeah,
grew up and joined the Taliban
yeah,
and trafficked children.
yeah. Good clarification. Um, I think like the things. So in the book, it talks a lot about like the garden, Amir's Baba's garden,
Mm.
and the pomegranate tree, I believe.
Mhm.
The kite running, which is kind of like you're flying kites, and then you make them so that they get tangled, and one has to be shot down. It's
Yeah.
really a cool sport that I didn't know anything about.
Me neither.
Yeah, but yeah, the pomegranates and also the snow. I didn't know that there was such weather diversity when I'd first read this book in Afghanistan, because the way it'd been painted was so many stereotypes of just sand. Um, and the way that Khaled Hosseini wrote it, it sounds so beautiful
Mhm.
and so rich and diverse, and there's so many different ethnic groups that I didn't know about either. Like I just feel like, yeah, I'm really grateful for this, for his voice.
Totally. Yeah, I think the kite running, so yeah, the reason why it's called Kite Runner,
Hmm.
the Kite Runner refers to Hassan
Yeah, he was the
because
best.
he was the best. And so in kite fighting, Amir, there'd be two parties to that. So the kite fighter, and then once the kites are cut down, then there's a kite runner, who runs to grab the kite as a trophy, as the
Mhm.
fallen kite as a trophy. Um, and
And it
there's
was
a
in.
line.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, there's just a line of Hassan running to grab the kite, Amir yelling after him, like, "You gotta get that kite," because Amir had won this kite fight, saw for the first time pride in his father's eyes for him. So he like screams to me, Hassan is like, "You gotta get it," and Hassan turns back and says, "For you 1,000 times over." And ugh, what a line!
It is so beautiful. Honestly, you can't walk away from this book not loving Hassan and
Yeah.
just cherishing his sweet, loyal heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in a kite fight
Mm-hmm.
that, and in the retrieval, I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, where the big moment happens that kind of defines the rest of the book,
Yes.
of how when Hassan becomes is assaulted by the
Asif.
yeah, by the evil guy who grows up to become part of the Taliban.
Yep.
Um and like thinking back to that, like that is like the hinge point of
Mm-hmm.
this book, where everything kind of changes. And I think as a metaphor of what was also happening in the country, what was to happen in the country, of like the dignity of a people will be erased because of their new leadership. Like
Mm-hmm.
Everything is going to change. Um, it was a really interesting way of kind of describing that and setting a tone for the rest of the book, and also seeing how Amir just kind of turned away and didn't know how to deal with it because he was also a little kid. But I think that there's like different aspects of what people can take away from the book. But it was required reading in my high school, which is really interesting. I don't know um, if it was for other people. What was your initial reaction reading it the first time versus this time reading it? Like, can you remember what differences you felt?
The first time I read it, I don't remember. I remember, so this time reading it, remembered there was an assault.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize it was so early in the book.
Yeah.
It actually, like, part one is actually quite short. And I was
Yeah.
surprised by how little Hassan is actually in it. Like, we don't even see him as an adult.
No.
We only get a note from him to Amir.
Which is also interesting because we're really just trusting Amir's perspective of Hassan.
Yeah.
He gets to be the narrator and we get to see Hassan through his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe he is being more generous to the memory of Hassan because of his guilt. I don't know, but it's
Oh,
interesting, you
that
know?
is a good point. Yeah, I think this time around, they both were hard characters to look at. Um, Amir because of his cowardice, but also like I was afraid that he was a mirror of myself. So like looking at him, reading about him, and seeing like how cowardly he is, occasionally I was like afraid of thinking too deeply. Of like,
Whoa.
oh, am I a coward too? Like if I were ever in this situation where I witness an assault, would I have said anything? Would I have, and like of course it's hard to judge. I mean,
A child,
a
too.
child. They were
It's
like
really hard.
10 years old.
I think, yeah, yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. And then Hassan was hard to look at because he was so pure. And I was like, this, I am not, I do not deserve to be around you. Like, you are
Oh my
too
gosh.
loyal. You are too, like, too earnest, too, and like, he never felt gullible or naive.
No, no. Um, I think that there are, like, in thinking about my nieces and nephews, I
Mm,
definitely see one of my nephews in this story. Like, I think he is that kind of sweetness, loyalty, and
mm-hmm.
purity but I also think he understands that people can be mean sometimes.
Yeah.
There's like a very interesting awareness within him. Um, like sometimes when people write characters that are like that, it's kind of hard to believe. But I do think that he was written very believably.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that to call Amir totally a coward isn't 100% fair
Mm-hmm.
because he was just a little boy.
And his father was like emotionally neglecting him.
Yes, yes, this is a good point. I think that you underestimate yourself and your own courage, to be completely honest, Eden. Because I
Oh,
think you're very deeply courageous. But I get what you're saying in reading it is like all of these characters, they're so full of this thing that it is kind of overwhelming.
yeah.
And that's the richness in Khaled Hosseini's writing. Like it's very easy for me to hate the character that I'm supposed to hate.
Yeah.
Because he painted him in such oh
Just like
a
pure evil.
monstrous,
Yeah.
yeah, pure evil. Um, my first time reading it, I remember like I was like physically sick when I read
Mm.
about the scene of the assault scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last half of the book also physically unwell. Because
Yeah.
there's a scene when Amir, and like a lot of the book is kind of an adventure novel, to be honest.
Yeah.
Amir goes back to Afghanistan. He hasn't been there since he's a kid. He goes back to rescue this boy. Like that is his intention, and that is what he's doing. So he gets into all these different situations, and kind of high action. Like when he finds the boy, he has to figure out how to save him from this horrible man. And so like there it is quite an adventure novel more than anything else, if we
Mm-hmm.
want to be honest. Um but like there's a part at the end where they're describing the setting of like when Amir finds his name is Sohab. Is that his name?
Sorab.
Sorab. And oh, it makes me like I think about it sometimes and it makes me feel physically ill. But he's like dressed in a certain way and has like makeup on and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And it's just it's horrific. Um, and you see this played out in this way where it's just the most dehumanizing, awful thing. And I don't think that there's anything that Amir can do to really rectify it, but you still walk away from the book feeling like, okay, there's a little bit of justice in that this boy got away.
Mm-hmm.
Even if his dad wasn't able to get away from his own fate, you know, and even if this whole country is still struggling, like there's a lot there. I don't know. It's just ugh.
Yeah.
Amir and his journey and him being alone on this journey is also very interesting, much in the way he was as a child. Because he wasn't actually deeply connected to Hassan. They were best friends, but like there was still a wall there
Mm-hmm. Because his
because
father
because his father
preferred him.
clearly favored Hassan, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like so you still see Amir living his life completely alone in this journey. It's just a lot. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, what a book.
What a book. What was your impression? So this time it was like reading the characters. What was um wait, what was the setting of you reading it the first time, Eden? Was it in
I don't
school?
remember. I did not read
Okay.
it for school.
Okay.
I want to say my mom had read it and she said that I should read it.
Whoa, how old were
Yeah.
you? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
High school probably.
Interesting.
I want to say it was high school. I did not read books in college that were not for class.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Um,
Busy girl.
busy girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me about this book and its popularity is that it was very popular very fast, and I don't remember any warnings of like you shouldn't read it. Like I
Yeah.
remember everyone saying you should read it, whereas I feel like other books that would be this graphic in nature, people often give like a little warning, which is
Yeah.
interesting, and I don't know why that is. Um, I mean, it's an incredible book, but it is very fascinating to me how it was so popular so quickly by so many people.
I wonder if it was because of like the blatant atonement at the end of like, well, Sorab eventually kills oh wait, did he die, Asif? He at least slingshotted out of one of his eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um and so maybe there was like that feeling of justice, like, oh, the child rapist got what he deserved.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
But I don't know. That whole scene with Asif and Sorab and just the implications. Like there wasn't anything explicit about that, but just yeah, makes
But
you kind of
the
sick to your
abuse is like
stomach.
bleeding through the page, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Um, it's honestly, I think Khaled Hosseini is one of our best writers ever.
Yeah.
It's his work is so beautiful and so poignant. Um, I also just think what a timely and courageous book to write.
Should we talk about Baba
Yes.
and Amir?
Yes.
All right. What should we say about Baba? Baba was very withholding with Amir.
He
Uh,
was.
yeah, and he loved Hassan so much that like caused so much jealousy for Amir, and then you find out later that Hassan turned out to be Amir's half brother.
Yeah. Which is heavy. I wonder also if it's not that Baba loved Hassan more,
Uh-huh.
as much as like he was overcompensating out of guilt that he couldn't present being his real
Mm.
father. Because Hassan did have like a father figure that we thought was his biological father.
Yeah.
Um, and he was a servant, very complicated, which you can also assume there was a complicated relationship between those two,
Yeah.
Baba and Hassan's father. I mean, Baba and Hassan's
Adopted father.
guardian.
Yeah.
Which is interesting that there's a generational piece to this. That's
Yeah.
we don't get into it as much, but
That's a good point.
Hosseini
Like a
definitely
mirror.
establishes a pattern. What?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. It's just a mirror.
And then we see it again um, later on. The idea that Hassan's father couldn't have his own children,
Hmm.
Hassan's guardian rather, and Baba is the father. Amir kind of does that exact same thing with
Yeah.
Hassan's child. He becomes his
His
father, even though
father.
he's not his birth father. Like it's all very intertwined rather, and tangled up.
Yeah. What is the significance of that, do you think, in this
I
story?
think there's something deeply poetic about it. I don't know if it's like there's a lesson or anything like that, but I just think that there's something poetic when it comes to intergenerational experiences that we keep repeating until we
Yeah.
heal it. And I also think there's something interesting about when you're thinking about Arabic literature and Arabic art, it's very circular, whereas in the
Hmm.
West, we prefer to be very like linear.
Hmm.
But in Arabic culture, from my understanding, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know, listener. But there's a very circular thing happening in how people communicate and things like this. And I think even just like pointing out these generational patterns, there's something very circular about it.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if there's a beginning or an end, or if like there's something significant we should get from it other than things are related and we are all part of patterns
Yeah.
that we might not be aware of.
This makes me think of Rahim, the man who passed on that Hassan had died. Rakim said when he sent that note to Amir saying you should come back to Afghanistan, he ends the note with "This is a way to be good again,"
Mm-hmm.
and like going back to that circular thing of like maybe like the story of redemption isn't a linear thing; it's a circular. It's not a linear journey; it's a circular journey
Yeah, I
that
definitely
you
think so.
it's not like a place to stop and everything will
Mm-mm.
be good again. Although like maybe Amir needed that first stop in order to kick that off.
I'm sorry. What is that about?
No one the universe doesn't want us to talk about the kite runner.
No, that wasn't even my phone. That was Karina's computer.
Oh.
She's not even home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Can you repeat that? Because that was a beautiful thought. And I'm going to put myself on mute so that I don't mess it up.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Um what did I say? Just yeah, I just wonder if redemption is more circular than linear in the journey of life, you know, of just patterns repeat, it's circular. There's ways to be bad, but there's ways to be good again. And we just have to look for those moments and accept those moments too. Because I think Amir was ready to punish himself forever.
Hmm.
I mean, like even when he was being beaten up by Asif, um, he was just like, hey, I deserve this
Yes.
because I did not stand up for Hassan
Yeah.
those years ago.
There's something like deeply spiritual in the idea that redemption's not linear. That there's like what you're saying. I
Hmm.
think this is like in the grieving process, in every real emotion that we're feeling, it comes in waves. And I don't think it is about, oh, you're done with that, moving on to the next thing ever.
Yeah.
And what you brought up about Amir trying to let go. Like, yeah, he probably would never have let go of
No.
punishment for himself. Um, I kind of wonder if shame is what makes us believe that it is linear, that if we just get to this one point, that will be over. And I think that's a huge fallacy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why do you think it was banned?
Oof. Okay, so I'm dabbling between if it's because of Islamophobia or if it's because of the child abuse.
Mhm.
What do you think? I can't tell what our audience is like, not our audience. The banners out there, I'm guessing it's because of Islamophobia. They don't want any stories that have to do with um Afghanistan.
I think you're probably right there. Um, and I also think the child abuse as well.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Okay, let's see. Let's
All right,
find
let's
out.
look it up.
They're so good.
Well, actually, I was very surprised that they use glass thread.
Yeah, because you've
You
gotta
got to cut
cut
down
the
the
other,
other.
yeah, the other kite.
I
Eden,
had
it's
no idea.
basic. It's
Yeah.
basic.
Wait, is that all kites or is it these specific types of kites?
I think it's these specific types of kites because I've had kites
I've never
and
flown kites, so
you've never flown kites?
I could never figure it out. I've never been in a place
Oh,
windy enough.
oh, Eden. Oh, sweet Eden.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I am shook.
So I think it was banned because of the glass and the ripped up hands from flying kites. Yeah. Okay, key reasons: sexual violence, profanity in language, sensitive themes like child abuse, bullying, and ethnic tension, religious and political content. Uh, let's see. It was removed from reading lists in states like North Carolina, Arizona, and Colorado. Um, and then internationally, it was also banned in Afghanistan for the portrayal of ethnic tensions and criticisms of the Taliban.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I didn't even know books were allowed in the Taliban run
yeah.
communities.
Afghan American readers were particularly critical towards the depiction of Pashtun as oppressors and Hazaras as the oppressed.
Hmm.
And then Hosseini responded in an interview, "They never say I am speaking about things that are untrue. Their beef is, why do you have to talk about these things and embarrass us? Don't you love your country?"
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a very fun response.
Mm-hmm. It's a, they think any sort of criticism is a
Mm-hmm.
criticism of the whole
Yeah.
rather than, no, I'm just talking about this one thing.
Yeah.
It was one of the most banned books in 2021 and 2022. As of 2024, the book has been banned from libraries in Florida, Michigan, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Pennsylvania, Idaho, and Wisconsin. In February 2025, the United States Department of Defense flagged the book for temporary removal. Pentagon-run schools. Typo. Pending a review of its compliance with federal policies. Maybe America doesn't believe in redemption.
We don't. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't believe in a lot of things.
So, and I think the removal from Pentagon-run schools is probably that Islamophobia that no one's gonna outright say.
Yeah. Yeah, I would wonder about that. It is interesting. I really want to talk to my old English teacher because we read it in school as a class.
Mm.
I don't remember what grade I was in. So yeah,
Yeah.
I need to have a chit chat with my teacher and figure that out. Maybe we
Yeah.
didn't. Maybe I'm just making that up, but I really thought we did. Or maybe we got a list of books that we could read. I don't know. I need to find out.
Yeah.
I feel like it was summer reading. to say? Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Okay.
Well, sweet. That was our episode, and thank you for dialing in and
Dialing
tuning in.
in. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Burn this. Oh.
Go ahead. Do it.
Burn This Book was produced by us, Eden and Nicole.
And music was written by me, Nicole, and performed by my dad, Frank. Yay!